not as easy to deal with in many respects as the physical wounds. And I think what the VA did for many years was just say, yeah, you know, it can all be solved with pharmaceuticals. So, okay, you have this, write a script. Well, that did not work for many veterans. And honestly, I think a lot of people that I've talked to in the community think it contributed to the suicides. But one of the things that worked was pairing the veteran suffering from post-traumatic stress with a specially trained service dog. So you had these organizations. We had one up where I was in Ponte Vedra Beach, Canines for Warriors. They would train them and then they would pair them. And I will tell you, they had a very low suicide rate once that happened. So we had a lot of veterans that were advocates for that. You know, the VA was pushing back. They didn't want to embrace it. Finally, legislation was passed forcing their hand where they had to do that, and it's had a very positive impact. We also, my first year in office, signed Senate Bill 388 to authorize emergency service vehicles to transport injured police canines to a veterinary clinic so that they can get the care they need to recover if there's no individual requiring medical attention. So EMTs and paramedics can now provide emergency medical care to an injured police canine at the scene of an emergency or while the canine is being transported. And so that obviously has helped save lives. We also signed Senate Bill 96 to increase the penalty from third-degree felony to second-degree for intentionally and knowingly causing great bodily harm, disability, or death to police, canines, or horses, fire canines, or search and rescue canines. Again, very appropriate to be able to do. You know, a lot of these law enforcement would not be able to do their jobs without these canines. Huge force multiplier, definitely save lives. I mean, I remember being over in Iraq. You'd see these the handler come in with it, and you know, and they would have like training where you'd have like a big thing on your arm, but man, they just say boom, and that dog, boom, got it and just subdued. And so, you know, you're talking about a terrorist in a man dress or something. You get that canine on those guys, man, they freak out, and like you've neutralized the threat. They also go and sniff for IEDs and ferret out the explosives. So there's a whole bunch of things, and of course with narcotics here at home, they do that. We also signed HB 1047 to increase criminal penalties for harming, harassing, or willfully resisting an animal working with police officers, firefighters, or search and rescue. You know, when we say back the blue, we include our police canines. They do protect handlers. They do have unique skills that keeps all of us more safe. We've also fought tirelessly to protect animals and hold animal abusers accountable. Just this past year, I signed Trooper's Law and Dexter's Law. I think we signed them right here at Big Dog Ranch. So Trooper was left on the side of the road when Hurricane Milton was getting ready to come on shore in the west central Florida area, and the water was rising. The owner abandoned the dog. I don't know why you would abandon the dog on the side of the road like that in the middle of a hurricane, and so was saved by one of our highway patrol troopers, and obviously probably would not have survived had that not happened. Dexter's Law was passed after a dog was brutally killed just days after adoption. It's now a sentencing multiplier for anyone torturing, mutilating, or killing a dog. We also created an online database of those convicted of animal abuse so shelters know to not let these people adopt pets. I mean, honestly, that's something you want to know about, like a neighbor too. I mean, like, you know, if they're willing to do that to dogs, I mean, that's probably not somebody that you would be trustworthy on a lot of other things. So we've done a lot of really big things. I think we've been very forward thinking on all this stuff, you know, but throughout all this, you know, there have been concerns about, you know, some of these breeding practices, some of these puppy mills, you know, that are going on throughout the country, but including in the state of Florida. And now many breeders take care of their animals and treat them with dignity and respect. No doubt there are some bad actors who keep these animals in inhumane conditions, and we want to put an end to that type of practice in the state of Florida. So we're proposing that in the upcoming legislative session next year, that the Florida legislature tackle new legislation, to end these inhumane practices. We propose partnering with Commissioner Simpson and the Florida Department of Agriculture to develop best practices so that we have ethical dog breeding in the state of Florida. We also will seek the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation to license dog breeders and be able to hold them accountable for abusive conditions like cramming multiple dogs in small cages, limiting their access to water, overbreeding, or leaving them out and exposed to extreme elements. Big Dog Ranch, they have all this place to play and run and everything like that, and this is obviously kind of Shangri-La for dogs looking to be adopted. And so not everyone can do that, but obviously you got to do enough. We will establish a hotline for individuals to call and report animal abuse by breeders to better crack down on bad actors. We also want to require pet stores to offer space to local shelters for adoption before they use space to sell dogs from the puppy mills. Now, most of the stores, brands, I think, do that now, but not all of them. Why would we not want to be focusing on helping find these dogs homes that are in a shelter? That should be the priority one for everything that we're doing with respect to dogs. We will also seek to protect consumers from predatory practices when it comes to purchasing dogs and increasing transparency to ensure people are not being roped in to usurious financial agreements. When families adopt or purchase a dog, we will ensure that veterinarians are providing an accurate bill of health, that there is accountability for what is signed off on with these medical statements. Shelters across the state face overcrowding, and being able to profile these animals at pet stores will help save them from being euthanized. Finally, we'll have additional legislation that provides for increased penalties for individuals who abuse or torture animals in front of a minor, which can very much scar the minor and potentially cause harm going forward for them. So I think a lot of people have been talking about a lot of the things that I just mentioned for a number of years. It always seems like the public supports it, and then some way it gets killed here, gets killed there, whatever. We want to make sure that we're able to get this done. I think it'll be good for Florida. I think it'll be good for everybody, but it'll particularly be good for man's best friend. So we're going to get the job done, and I want to thank everybody who has joined us in this effort. I know we've got a lot of great legislators who are very passionate about this project, and I know they'll be working very hard in both the House and the Senate to be able to do something very robust. And my hope is that we will be able to reconvene here at Big Dog Ranch and do 2 years in a row of really good bill signings to protect our dogs. Okay, Wilton.
Thank you, and I want to congratulate Lori for getting us all here today. And I've known Lori many years, and if you know her passion for dogs, this is just a small tip of the iceberg to be here today at Big Dog Ranch. And by the way, we have a big fundraiser coming up in a few weeks. Everyone can attend or send resources to get this done. So congratulations. I also want to thank the governor. The governor has led, I've worked with the governor his 7 years as he has been governor, and he's done an amazing job for Florida. We can talk about COVID, you can talk about hurricane response, you can talk about law enforcement, you can talk about all the things that the governor has done to lead the state of Florida, in this century, and as one of the most effective governors Florida's ever had. And we appreciate your leadership on this effort, Governor. Today, we are here to create a transparent, consistent breeder registration system. Breeders should operate ethically, humanely, and responsible. To all of our pets, we all know our pets are our extended family members. I have to give my 3 grand dogs a shout out today, or I wouldn't be doing my job. They don't know I'm doing this, by the way, so this will be news in Dade City. But Pluto, Pongo, and Espen are all back in Dade City this morning in very nice homes. And I would say very similar to this, but just 3 of them, not 800. The department has had the Department of Agriculture is home to our state veterinarian and the Division of Animal Industry. We have decades of experience with BMPs, best management practices. The department has just recently updated all 13 best management practice manuals, working with farmers, IFAS, and the University of Florida and others. BMPs have greatly reduced fertilizer use. They've greatly reduced, in some crops, 40 to 80% less water for the same crop, or even more crop. So we're very, very proud of what best management practices does here in the state of Florida. Today, we're going to bring that same expertise in establishing best management practices for dog breeders, ensuring standards are science-based, practical, and enforceable. We will work with the Florida Board of Veterinary Medicine to ensure that the BMPs are based on the latest advancements in animal care and are effective. The department is proud to partner with Secretary Griffin and the Florida Department of Professional Regulation, which will take on the critical role of registration and oversight. And so we're all in this together, right? These are extended members of our families. We know that. We need to take this issue as serious as it is. And I really do appreciate the governor and his work in bringing this forward. And Lori, again, I want to congratulate. I've known Lori for many years, by the way, and I've heard about this for many years. Hopefully this year we will get something like this done and be very effective. Thank you for having me, Governor.
Good morning. Happy early Thanksgiving. I'm Melanie Griffin, and I've had the honor of serving as the Secretary of the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation for almost the past 4 years. I first want to express my gratitude to the Governor. Under your leadership, the department's mission has remained clear and consistent to protect Floridians and uphold common sense, transparent standards while cutting bureaucracy and red tape. Each day, our team works to license efficiently and regulate fairly, ensuring that trust, accountability, and safety is across Florida and at the forefront. Like so many of you, I am a proud pet owner. My son Maverick, who is on fall break, is here with me, and our 12-year-old golden lab Molly is absolutely our best friend. She is the highlight of our day and always cheers us up when we're having a sad moment or need a little love. We've been texting my husband this morning, threatening to Lori, take one of your dogs off your hands. So surprise, Mike, if that happens. But what we're really here to do is to discuss today that ensuring that when families do make that critical decision to bring home a pet, they can do so with confidence, knowing the animal is healthy, cared for, and not the victim of neglect or mistreatment. We are here to explore ways to strengthen safeguards so animals are protected before they're sold and consumers aren't forced with heartbreaking situations after the fact. The vast majority of breeders and sellers in Florida are responsible, compassionate, and professional, and they do the right thing. Our goal is to create a fair, level playing field, supporting these good actors while holding bad actors accountable as they should be. Through greater transparency, a focus on animal welfare, and consistent enforcement, we can make sure that every pet in Florida receives the love and care that they deserve. By continuing to work hand in hand with veterinarians, responsible breeders, retailers, shelters, and local officials, we can build policies that keep animals safe while supporting businesses that operate with integrity. No one wants unnecessary red tape, but what we do want are clear, enforceable standards that prioritize safety, fairness, and welfare, fully aligned with the governor's results and his driven approach. The legislature represents a common sense solution that protects families, supports responsible businesses, and strengthens animal welfare across our state. We are thankful for the governor's leadership and partnership, and of course that of Commissioner Simpson's in this legislation, and we look forward to continuing our work with all of you and the legislature to deliver meaningful, lasting policies this session. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming on such an important day here, celebrating keeping dogs safe. We're so honored to have Governor Ron DeSantis here again and First Lady Casey DeSantis and the kids. I think they're out scouring the ranch for more dogs to take home. Your presence here means so much, not only for all of us who work every day to save dogs, but to the thousands of animals in Florida who cannot speak for themselves. Today's about action, compassion, and accountability. For 3 years, we've been working tirelessly to advance legislation that will hold bad breeders accountable, to end the cruelty, the neglect, and the inhumane treatment of dogs suffering in the hands of irresponsible and unethical breeding operations. Here at Big Dog Ranch Rescue, we see the consequences of that cruelty every single day. We see the mothers who've been bred over and over again until their bodies are so broken they can barely walk. We see the puppies who arrive so sick that many don't survive because their breeders wouldn't spend a single dollar to get them proper vet care. We see dogs so traumatized from living their entire lives in cages that they lose their hair from stress. Others like Ray, that's back there in a pen, with eye ulcers and chemical burns because they were left inside their cages when pressure washers were sprayed to clean, causing severe injuries. This is not rare. This is not exaggerated. This is what we fight against daily because of bad actors in the breeding industry. And this is why this bill matters so deeply. Let me be clear, we are not against good breeders. We value and respect ethical breeders who care for their dogs, maintain proper standards, and preserve purebred lines with love and responsibility. What we stand firmly against are the bad actors, the backyard breeders and puppy mills who treat dogs as products for profit instead of living, breathing beings. This legislation will finally set standards of care and accountability for breeders across the state of Florida, something we've been fighting for years to achieve. It will make a life-changing difference for dogs suffering right now in horrible living conditions, save the lives of thousands of helpless dogs and puppies. We're deeply grateful to Governor Ron DeSantis for standing with us to protect the helpless, defend the voiceless, and to help us end the suffering and abuse of man and woman's best friend. His support for this bill will finally break the cycle of cruelty these dogs have endured and ensure they are never forgotten or unprotected again. I also want to take a moment to recognize and thank the state officials here with us today who have been unwavering advocates for animals and instrumental in making this legislation possible. Representative Meg Weinberger, stand up. Senator Ileana Garcia. These two are both sponsoring this bill. Thank you. Representative Linda Cheney. Linda isn't here. She didn't make it. Danny Burgess. Didn't make it? Okay. Commissioner Melanie Griffin. Not Secretary Melanie Griffin. Commissioner of Agriculture Wilton Simpson. Representative Ann Gerwig. And Thomas Leake, who's also a proponent, was not able to make it today. But we have many of House of Representatives and senators that are behind animals, and hopefully we can really get this through the finish line. Thank you all for being champions for animal welfare in our state to end suffering and stop abuse. Thank you, Governor and First Lady, for standing with us today. Recognition of your unwavering support and commitment to protecting dogs.
Thank you.
We're honored to present this award to you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you for giving dogs a voice.
Yeah.
And for helping so many animals. So we're very appreciative.
Thanks so much. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank
I'd
you.
love to get Wilton and Melanie.
Come on up here, guys.
Meg, Ileana, Gerwig. We can get up here and get
Sean made it to
All right, congrats. Thank you.
Put it back in the box.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
I wish you could have done it better. Give it to me.
Thanks. Well, I'll put that in my office right next to the Winston Churchill bust. I got a few years. I don't remember when, but it's a cool bust. So I want to thank everybody for being. It seems like you've got a lot of heavy hitter legislative support. She always gets good. I don't know how she does. She always gets stuff that people care about, and she gets it across the finish line in the Senate. So hopefully you'll be able to get that done again today. And yeah, look, I think this has been a long time coming. You and I had this conversation after the bill signing last year about that. I said, well, we'll do it. And then so, you know, we follow through. Now, if somebody wants to get a dog here, how do they go? How do they go about doing it if someone's watching right now?
Apply online.
BigDogRanch.com?
No, BigDogRanchRescue.org.
BigDogRanchRescue.org. And do they?
BDRR.org.
Or BDRR.org. Cover your bases. And if they go on there, do you have like profiles of the dogs that are available? So, or how does it work?
All of our dogs are on the website.
Oh, good.
Ready to go. And we have, between here and Alabama, we have over 1,600 dogs here right now that all need homes for the holidays.
Says they have 1,600. So if someone is in like Palm Beach County and they want, and you have one in Alabama, you'll transport it here for them to pick up?
Take a dog anywhere it needs to go.
Okay. Okay, so they'll do that. So if you're interested, this is, I mean, honestly, just to see this place is like worth a field trip. I don't think they don't really have anything like this anywhere else that I've seen. And, you know, my kids and my wife didn't make it to the prep because like they saw these dogs everywhere, and so they just got sidetracked, and my kids are playing with them all. But if you go online, you can figure out what you want and then come and get it, and you know, that'd be really, really good. And we've you know, like I said, we've helped profile some folks, some dogs, and they get adopted pretty quickly when we put it out on our social site. So if you need me to profile any, we're happy to help again on that. I think it's important for everybody to be able to do it. But yeah, so BDRR.org or BigDogRanchRescue.org. Go there. Hopefully you can make a dog nice and happy for the holidays. Okay, anyone have any questions back there? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I think, yeah, we want to have a licensing. It's a way to ensure standards are met. And I think doing it in a way that's efficient and not intrusive, because most of the breeders do a good job. But, you know, there are some that are going to run afoul, and we want to hold them accountable.
What kind of consequences have you guys talked about when somebody thinks if they were to...
Well, legislature will determine some of that. But, you know, the issue with license is, you know, it's kind of like if you go to Vegas, like you get a casino license, like that's like gold to them, right? Because if you run afoul and they pull your license, well, then all of a sudden, you know, you can't operate. So just the fact that you ensure that, and people could lose a license to operate, that's a huge thing in and of itself. And there obviously can be more penalties for that. Now on the mistreatment, you know, we've proposed very strong penalties because I just think it's important. I think we want to deter. And I'll tell you, I've not seen anybody complain when somebody that's cruel to the dogs gets the book thrown at them. I mean, I just, you know, sometimes there's certain crimes, you know, in life where some people are like, well, that may be too harsh for this. I've never heard that with this because I just think it's totally inappropriate and unacceptable to be doing it.
And then on the consumer side, is there any protections for people purchasing knowingly or unknowingly?
Yeah, so there's transparency proposals for health of the dog, financial arrangements. You know, they'll do some of these financing schemes and then people can't afford it. And then what happens to the dog? You know, it's just, it's not the way to do it. Now, if you come to Big Dog Ranch or you go to your local animal shelter, you won't have to finance, right? I mean, because like the goal is to get them adopted. They're not trying to, you know, to make a fortune off it. They're trying to just help the dogs. And that's why I know people that are involved with dogs always recommend that you do check with your local shelter. You know, there's a lot of good. Now look, the ones that my kids like, that they would not have let us adopt out when we rescued them, they're mutts. Like, they're probably like super mutts, right? Like, I don't know how many different things. And it's fine, it's fun. But, some people want, they want a French bulldog, or they want this or that. But, you have a lot of Frenchies here, and you have pretty much every breed that could be imaginable here. So it's able to get done, and hopefully more and more people will be able to do that. So, all right, so the mission is, you legislators, churn this out, and then we'll set a date to come back here, and whenever, April, May, June, whenever this stuff all comes to a landing, and then we'll do an even bigger celebration to be able to decide. So you agree to host it?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll get it done. We'll see you guys. She will see you. They want to go on the tour.